the year 2019, nestled in the shadowed void beyond the lunar horizon, a cosmic enigma emerged. A satellite, drifting 100 miles from the moon's concealed face, caught whispers of an anomaly, one that sang the mysteries of the cosmos. This phenomenon, a tapestry woven from star matter, glimmered with an unearthly sheen, as if the detritus of a distant supernova. Its core spanned nearly 100 meters, with tendrils unfurling beyond that expanse, painted in a spectral ballet of greens, yellows, purples, and pinks. Yet at its heart lay an abyss, stark and impenetrable, suggesting a passage to the unknown. This cosmic spectacle seized the curiosity of NASA, compelling the pursuit of knowledge. In the following months, as the agency cast their gaze upon the anomaly, an even more perplexing signal reached out from the void. A strange broadcast, a cryptic symphony of high-frequency tones that twisted and turned in pitch and volume, never repeating its haunting melody. Driven to decipher this celestial enigma, NASA dispatched a probe, an emissary to bridge the distance between humanity and this cosmic oddity. This probe bore the touch of Earth into the unknown, collecting samples from the anomaly's periphery, materials that seemed to pulse with the very essence of the anomaly itself. Analysis revealed a bizarre gravitational behavior, repelling, not attracting, an inverse to our understanding of cosmic forces. It was then that the improbable was considered. The anomaly, by all accounts, appeared to be a wormhole. The discovery sent shockwaves through the scientific community. Wormholes were the fabric of theoretical physics, mathematical phantoms that had never graced the lens of a telescope, until now. And so, with meticulous care, the probe's treasures were returned to Earth for scrutiny. Amongst the gathered specimens, a revelation: organic matter, clinging to the skin of a meteor particle. Tests upon tests yielded the same unfathomable result: life, but not as we know it, biological signatures of an organism foreign to Earth, and perhaps, if the wormhole theory held true, foreign to our entire universe. This begged the question: were we glimpsing into another universe, an alternate reality? The implications were staggering. With renewed vigor and funding, a second probe was conceived, a vessel not just to observe, but to traverse the wormhole. Laden with the finest technology, cameras that could capture the unseen, microphones to eavesdrop on the silence of space, it was a Hail Mary into the abyss. After 3 days journeying through the celestial wilderness, the probe approached the wormhole, now a mere 100 meters from the threshold. Back on Earth, eyes were glued to screens as the live feed streamed back. A visual feast, the anomaly's pulsating glow, colors beyond our spectrum, a light show at the edge of the world. As the probe edged closer, now only 10 meters from the heart of the enigma, our connection to it faltered. The video sputtered, the audio crackled, yet through the static and the noise, something was coming through. A glimpse of the impossible, a moment teetering on the brink of historic revelation or cosmic horror. As the probe, our harbinger of discovery, dove into the wormhole, it vanished into the unknown with the swiftness of a stone sinking into a deep, dark ocean. Its departure, a mesmerizing dance within the folds of space, mimicked the fluidity of water ripples, bending and twisting before all signals were abruptly severed. The feed, once a window to wonders, flickered into oblivion. Despite this, NASA's hunger for understanding proved insatiable. The organization poured its resources into sending one probe after another, each time met with the same silence, the darkness swallowing our mechanical scouts whole. The financial hemorrhage and the loss of invaluable equipment prompted NASA to think beyond the robotic. Initially, the thought of sending a human through such a turbulent and unknown passage was dismissed. The sheer force of a wormhole's gravitational waves could obliterate organic matter in an instant. However, necessity is the mother of invention, and NASA's finest minds orchestrated a feat of engineering, a spacecraft resilient against the most brutal of cosmic forces. Alongside, A suit of armor for the cosmos was crafted, a protective garment capable of withstanding the assault of any spatial extremity. My involvement in this audacious mission came not by chance but by choice. I, alongside my comrade in arms, Louis, was selected for this odyssey beyond the stars. Our chariot, while resembling conventional spacecraft, was a fortress of advanced alloys, a vessel designed to navigate through the very fabric of space-time. On the 5th of January in the year 2020, Louis and I embarked on our voyage, seated within the belly of this indomitable machine. Our destination lay beyond the wormhole's maw, a place where no human had ever set foot. The exploration was to be thorough, aided by the latest in maneuvering tech and visual equipment. And yet, amidst the scientific instruments and cameras, we found ourselves armed. The scientists postulated the existence of life on the other side, life that might not welcome us. Hence, we were equipped with tactical rifles, each round designed to pierce through unknown armor and modified for use in the vacuous expanse of space or planets bereft of gravity. Our training with these weapons was brief, intense, a 2-day immersion into the realm of military engagement. There was an understanding, unspoken yet palpable, that we might not return from where we were headed. It was a gamble against the infinite I was willing to embrace. As we distanced ourselves from Earth, our conversation was sparse, measured by the pulse of our breaths. The wormhole, once a mere speck of purple light, grew in our sights, each moment drawing us closer to the precipice of discovery. Louis's voice, tinged with both awe and trepidation, crackled over the intercom. The reality of our mission was setting in, a cocktail of excitement and fear. The anomaly now loomed before us, its brilliance challenging the very ability to keep our eyes open. Our silence hung heavy as we drew within 50 meters of our destination. My heart thundered like a drum, a primal response to the unfathomable journey we were about to undertake. And then, with the abruptness of a dream slipping into daybreak, we collided with the threshold of the wormhole. An eruption of light enveloped us, and we hurtled through the interdimensional tunnel at a velocity brushing the heels of light itself. The pressure mounted, a colossal weight upon my chest, delivering a pain so profound and consuming that it threatened the very fibers of my being. But as swiftly as it came, it vanished, leaving us adrift on the other side. Dazed but intact, I reached for the radio, my voice a beacon in the static-filled void. "Houston," I managed to gasp. "We freaking made it." The response was a silence as profound as the space that cradled us. It wasn't unexpected, yet the finality of our isolation was a sobering thought. I peered through the viewport, expecting the familiar tapestry of our cosmos, but was met with an alien vista. My pulse quickened as the realization took hold. This was no corner of our universe. The celestial bodies that adorned this new sky defied explanation. Their lush vibrancy was painted in hues beyond our spectrum, in shades that eluded description, challenging the very perception of color itself. Having been awestruck by the unfamiliar celestial bodies of this new universe, Louis and I commenced the primary objective of our extraordinary venture. We piloted our spacecraft, our modern-day chariot of the gods, descending into the embrace of the nearest planet, which bore an uncanny resemblance to our own Earth. This planet was a riot of green, a testament to what virgin worlds might look like, untainted by human touch. As we broke through the exosphere and moved into orbit, the surface of the planet came into clear view. From this vantage point, the verdancy was unmistakable, suggesting an abundance of liquid water and a thriving ecosystem. Yet an unnerving feeling took root as we scanned the landscape. There should have been bustling signs of alien life, intelligent beings perhaps, yet there was none. With a sense of trepidation, we guided our spacecraft to touchdown upon this silent world, exiting with weapons in hand, ready for anything. The air, heavy with the scent of alien flora, was indeed breathable, but we weren't to take any unnecessary risks. Our helmets remained sealed. I couldn't shake the sensation that something was fundamentally amiss. "There's something wrong with this place," I confided in Louis, who nodded in agreement. The flora was limited to mosses and unfamiliar fern-like plants. It was a world silent but for our own movements, a planet holding its breath. And then, on the horizon, something broke the monotony of the landscape. An edifice that seemed to echo the architectural grandeur of ancient earthly temples. Yet its composition was utterly foreign to us. Louis and I advanced toward the imposing structure, finding ourselves at the threshold of a doorway colossal in scale. The entrance led to a descending corridor, lined with stairs so large that each step required a deliberate leap. We descended, with a mixture of awe and caution, into the bowels of this alien construct. The walls, adorned with gargantuan hieroglyphics, told silent stories of deities and demons of this world, beings of grotesque enormity and otherworldly malice, with limbs and appendages designed by a mind unshackled from human norms. The temple's main chamber was dominated by a statue that could only be described as Lovecraftian in its inspiration. A behemoth adorned with a myriad of eyes, its body a complex network of tentacles and unidentifiable limbs, surrounded by lesser figures in what appeared to be an act of worship. The silence of our entrance, a hushed reverence for the unknown, was shattered as Louis, documenting our findings, accidentally toppled a statue. The resulting crash seemed to awaken the temple itself. A secret door slid open, and from its depths emerged a creature, a horror unfathomable, a serpent of colossal length with no discernible head, only a writhing mass of maws filled with rows of teeth. Its color, a ghastly mix of red and green, its body a composition of rot and wriggling tendrils, was a living nightmare. It attacked, and despite our suit's protection and our retaliatory gunfire, the bullets merely seemed to provoke it. Louis and I, driven by primal survival instincts, fled back up the stairs, the sound of our footsteps and the creature's screeches reverberating through the ancient hall. Our ascent was desperate, the creature at our heels, our breaths ragged in our throats. We barely made it back to the spacecraft, the creature's monstrous form just a breath away as we sealed the hatch and initiated liftoff. As our ship clawed its way back into the sky, we witnessed a behemoth, true to the depiction of the temple's deity, rise from the planet's bowels, easily rending the serpent creature to pieces. The sheer size of this entity dwarfed our understanding, its form casting a shadow over land and ocean alike. Nearing orbit, the stark reality dawned upon us. This entity stretched over 40 miles, a sentinel of this quiet planet, a guardian of its secrets. As we made our retreat, the overwhelming feeling that these cosmic horrors, these celestial secrets, were not meant for human eyes became a weight upon our souls. I could only hope that the veil between our universe and this one would remain forever intact, shielding us from the unfathomable terrors that lay in wait beyond our reach. As our ship ascended higher, the colossal entity that had dispatched the chasing abomination receded into the planet's vast greenery, once again hidden from view, as if it had never been. Our relief was palpable, yet ephemeral, for we knew that the alien behemoth's intervention was not a gesture of protection, but a stark warning. This universe was not ours to tread. We navigated back through the gaping maw of the wormhole. The transition back to our own universe, less violent than our departure, but no less extraordinary. The fabric of space-time folded around us like a cosmic ballet, and in moments, we were catapulted back into the familiar star-studded blackness of our own Milky Way. The return was met with a mixture of disbelief and awe from mission control. Static-filled communications soon became clear, and when we reported what we had encountered, there was a long, uneasy silence. The implications of our journey were immediate and profound. The debriefing was long and arduous, with every detail pored over by a myriad of scientists from various disciplines, all attempting to make sense of our harrowing tale. Days turned into weeks, and weeks into months. Our experience became the subject of much debate. Some saw it as a call to explore further, to push the boundaries of what we thought possible, while others deemed it a cautionary tale, a sobering reminder of our insignificance in the grand tapestry of the cosmos. The images we brought back were startling, alien landscapes that stirred the imagination of the public, hieroglyphs that were undecipherable yet eerily reminiscent of cultures long past on Earth, and the final haunting image of the massive entity that both Louis and I hoped never to lay eyes on again. Then, as our story became well known, there came the inevitable whispers of doubt, the skeptics who called it a fabrication, a story concocted for fame or to funnel funds into space exploration. But we had lived it. The fear that gripped us on that distant world was as real as the ground beneath our feet, and the scars we carried were not just physical, but psychological. The story of our journey became legend, a modern myth that divided humanity into believers and non-believers. We, the first and last humans to have traveled to another universe, became recluses, haunted by our experience. The vivid dreams of the monstrous deity and its hideous servant plagued us, a constant reminder of the day we encountered the unknown. In the end, NASA decided to seal the coordinates of the wormhole. The potential risks outweighed the thirst for discovery. The anomaly itself dwindled and disappeared as if it had never been, taking with it the possibility of return or the threat of something crossing into our universe. Years passed, and life on Earth continued. Louis and I went our separate ways, each trying to find peace after what we had witnessed. But the universe had a different plan. Reports began to surface. Whispers from the edge of space, tales of entire star systems vanishing without a trace. Something was out there, moving, consuming, an entity of unspeakable power and insatiable hunger. Louis and I knew, without speaking a word to each other, that our journey had not been the end, but a beginning. The colossal deity was not just a sentinel of its world, it was a harbinger, an omen of something far more catastrophic. As I sit here staring into the night sky, I cannot help but wonder if the anomaly was not a random occurrence but an opening salvo in something much larger than we could ever comprehend. The universe had shown us its hand, and now all we could do was wait for the next move in a game that spanned galaxies. Perhaps some truths are too vast for the human mind to hold, some secrets too dark for the light of our understanding to reveal. We had stared into the abyss, and the abyss was staring back, biding its time. Our story was not over. It had merely paused, waiting for the final act to commence.